good. It's embarrassing. If we are going to be together, she have to wear her wig. She's not gonna go with her short hair.
I'm hurt, and now I feel ugly, and I feel unwanted, and
You have to be wearing your wig when we are meeting my friends or meeting people.
Lisa's hand trembles as she peels back the edge of her wig, the glue fighting her every move. But nothing fights harder than the silence that follows. Daniel's face doesn't just fall, it crashes. His eyes dart away, his lips twist, and for a split second, you can see every ounce of affection drain out of the room. The air turns heavy, thick with embarrassment, and Lisa's cheeks flush a deep, painful red. She's exposed, not just her scalp, but every insecurity she's tried to hide. Daniel doesn't say a word, but his disgust is louder than any insult. The silence is brutal, and Lisa's eyes flicker with the kind of hurt that doesn't heal overnight. You can almost hear her heart pounding, wondering if she's made a mistake she can't take back. How did it come to this? How did a woman who crossed an ocean for love end up standing in a hotel room, stripped of her armor, facing a man who can't even look at her? This isn't just about hair. This is about trust, about being seen, about the risk you take when you show someone your real self and pray they'll still want you. But Daniel's reaction isn't just disappointment, it's rejection. And it's public. He doesn't hide his feelings, not even for a second. The tension is so thick, you could cut it with a knife, and Lisa's left standing there, wishing she could disappear. Before we go any further, I'm Aliva, and you're watching Reality Sport, where we don't just watch the drama, we break it down, roast the behavior, and ask the questions everyone else is too scared to say out loud. If you've ever wondered what happens when love meets reality, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button, drop your hottest take in the comments, and buckle up, because this story is about to get messy. Now, here's the question that's going to haunt every second of this episode. Is Daniel's love for Lisa real? Or is she just the latest stop on his ticket to a better life? Because right now, it's not just Lisa's wig that's come off, it's the mask Daniel's been wearing too. And if you think this is as bad as it gets, you haven't seen anything yet. The secrets, the lies, the money, the promises, none of it is safe anymore. Every look, every word, every awkward pause is a clue, and tonight we're putting it all under the microscope. Lisa's standing there, raw and vulnerable, and Daniel's disgust is the first domino to fall. But what happens next will make you question everything you thought you knew about love, loyalty, and the price some people are willing to pay for a shot at happiness. If you think you know how this ends, think again, because the real story is only just beginning. Daniel doesn't even try to soften the blow. He looks at Lisa like she's broken some unspoken rule, like her real hair is a problem he never signed up for. His words come out clipped, impatient, as if her comfort is an inconvenience. He tells her, flat out, that if she wants to be seen with him, the wig goes back on. No negotiation, no empathy, just a cold ultimatum. Lisa's not just hearing this, she's feeling it in her bones. Every ounce of confidence she built up for this trip is crumbling, replaced by a familiar ache she thought she'd left behind. She's traveled thousands of miles, crossed continents, and now she's being told to hide the very thing that makes her feel most exposed. Inside, Lisa's mind is racing. She's replaying every moment that led to this, every time she wondered if she was enough, every time she hoped Daniel would see past the surface. The shame is sharp, almost physical. She wonders if she's ugly, if she's unlovable, if she's made a fool of herself for believing in a fairy tale that was never meant for her. The pain isn't just about hair. It's about being told, in no uncertain terms, that her real self isn't good enough. She tries to swallow her pride, but the taste is bitter. She wants to scream, to run, to disappear. But all she can do is stand there and listen, as Daniel lays down the law. Daniel's tone is icy, his eyes darting to the door as if he can't wait to escape. He tells her again that if she wants to meet his friends, the wig is non-negotiable. If she refuses, she stays hidden. It's not a request, it's a demand. Lisa's left with a choice that isn't a choice at all. conform, or be cast aside. The power dynamic is clear, and Daniel's not even pretending to care about her feelings. He's treating her like an accessory, something to be managed, not a partner to be cherished. But here's the thing. What is Daniel so desperate to control? Why is he so invested in keeping up appearances? Is it about pride? Or is there something deeper he doesn't want Lisa or anyone else to see? The more he pushes, the more it feels like he's hiding something. And Lisa's starting to sense it. She's not the only one wearing a mask in this relationship. The question is, what will she find if she dares to pull his off? And if she does, will she be ready for what's underneath? The tension is building, and the next move could change everything. Lisa's phone is a graveyard of money transfer receipts, each one a silent reminder of how much she's invested in this relationship. Every time Daniel needed something, a new shirt, a phone upgrade, a little help with rent, Lisa was there, wallet open, heart on her sleeve. She tells herself it's what couples do, that love means sacrifice. But the numbers don't lie. The debt is piling up, and the only thing growing faster than her credit card bill is the pit in her stomach. She's working overtime, skipping meals, and stretching every dollar, all for a man who seems more interested in her bank account than her well-being. When Daniel's friends finally meet Lisa, their smiles are wide, but their words are sharper than they seem. They tell her how much she's changed Daniel's life, how he used to have nothing, how now he's got new clothes, new shoes, a new phone. The compliments never touch on love, never mention happiness or connection. It's all about what Lisa has provided, what Daniel has gained. The gratitude feels hollow, almost rehearsed, and Lisa can't shake the feeling that she's being sized up, not welcomed in. She laughs along, but inside she's screaming. Is this what she's become? A sponsor, not a soulmate? Back home, Lisa's daughter Faith is watching all of this unfold with a mix of worry and disbelief. She's seen the red flags from the start, and she's not afraid to say what everyone else is thinking. She asks the hard questions, the ones Lisa tries to avoid. Why is Daniel so quick to propose? Why does he need so much money? Why does every conversation circle back to what Lisa can do for him? Faith's voice is steady, clear, and impossible to ignore. But Lisa wants to believe in the dream, even as it slips further out of reach. Still, the doubts are creeping in. Lisa's starting to wonder if Daniel's affection is real, or if she's just the latest in a long line of American women who've been sold a fantasy. The praise from his friends, the constant requests for money, the way Daniel lights up when she offers to help, it all feels transactional, not transformational. What does Daniel really want? Is he looking for love, or is he looking for a ticket out? The answer is out there, but Lisa's not sure she's ready to face it. The stakes are rising, and the next revelation could blow everything wide open. The streets are alive with music and color, a parade rolling through the city like a celebration straight out of a movie. Daniel beams, waving to the crowd, soaking up every second of attention as if he's the star of his own fairy tale. Lisa stands beside him, trying to match his energy, but inside, she's counting the cost. Every drumbeat, every streamer, every smiling face in the crowd is a reminder that this spectacle didn't come cheap. The truth is, Lisa's the one footing the bill for this fantasy. She's the one who wired the money, who said yes to every request, who made Daniel's dream of a grand proposal possible. But as the confetti falls, she can't help but wonder if she's the only one who sees the price tag. Daniel's gestures are big, bold, impossible to ignore. He drops to one knee in front of everyone, ring in hand, eyes locked on Lisa. The crowd cheers, cameras flash, and for a moment, Lisa feels like she's living in a romance novel. But the applause fades, and reality creeps back in. She remembers the late-night calls for money, the endless promises that things will get better, the way Daniel's affection always seems to peak when he needs something. The parade is dazzling, but Lisa can't shake the feeling that it's all for show. As the night wears on, Lisa's doubts start to grow. She looks at Daniel, at the way he works the crowd, at the way he basks in the spotlight, and she wonders if she's the only one he's ever made feel special. The whispers start to echo in her mind, stories of other women, other Americans, other promises made and broken. She tries to push the thoughts away to focus on the moment, but the questions won't leave her alone. Is she the love of Daniel's life? Or just the latest in a long line of women who've helped him chase his dreams? The parade may be over, but the illusions linger. Lisa's starting to see the cracks in the facade, the places where the truth slips through. She wants to believe in the magic, but the doubts are louder than ever. And somewhere in the shadows, the truth about Daniel's past is waiting to be revealed. If Lisa digs deeper, what will she find? And will she be able to handle it when the spotlight finally turns on him? Lisa's phone buzzes late at night, a message from a stranger that makes her heart skip. Attached are screenshots, messages between Daniel and another woman, the kind of flirty, late-night conversations that leave no room for doubt. Lisa scrolls through them, her hands shaking, her mind racing. The words are familiar, almost rehearsed, the same sweet nothings Daniel once whispered to her. It's like watching her own love story play out with someone else in the lead role. The betrayal stings, but what hurts more is the realization that she might not be special at all. She confronts Daniel, her voice trembling but determined. She lays out the evidence, the screenshots, the timelines, the receipts. Daniel's face hardens, his charm replaced by a wall of denial. He insists it's nothing, that the other woman is lying, that Lisa is overreacting. He spins stories, tries to turn the blame back on her, accuses her of not trusting him. Lisa wants to believe him, wants to find a crack in his armor, a sign that he's telling the truth. But every answer feels rehearsed, every excuse a little too convenient. Desperate for clarity, Lisa turns to Daniel's friends, hoping for honesty, for someone to break the silence. But they close ranks, their smiles tight, their answers vague. They laugh off her questions, change the subject, insist that Daniel is loyal, that she has nothing to worry about. The more she pushes, the more they retreat, leaving her alone with her doubts. It's like trying to solve a puzzle with half the pieces missing, and every time she gets close to the truth, someone moves the goalposts. Lisa's left in the dark, her trust eroding with every unanswered question. She replays the conversations in her head, searching for signs she missed, for clues that were there all along. The walls are closing in, and the truth feels further away than ever. But Lisa's not ready to give up. Not yet. She's determined to get answers, to find out if Daniel's love is real, or if she's been living in a carefully constructed lie. The next move could change everything. And the truth is closer than she thinks, waiting for the moment she's finally ready to see it. Lisa sits on the edge of the hotel bed, her hands pressed to her face, trying to hold herself together as the weight of everything finally crashes down. The room feels smaller than ever, the air thick with the kind of silence that only comes after a fight. Her mind is a storm, humiliation, anger, and a deep, gnawing self-doubt swirled together until she can't tell where one feeling ends and the next begins. She's replaying every moment, every word, every look Daniel gave her since she landed in Nigeria. The parade, the proposal, the laughter, the cold stares, the demands about her wig, the accusations that she's not trusting enough. It all blurs together, and for the first time, Lisa wonders if she's lost herself in someone else's story. She remembers the way Daniel looked at her when she took off her wig, the way his face twisted in disgust, the way he made her feel like she was less than. That moment keeps replaying in her mind, a loop she can't escape. She tries to remind herself of the good times, the sweet messages, the promises he made, but they feel hollow now, like echoes from a dream she's finally waking up from. The humiliation burns, not just because Daniel rejected her, but because she let herself believe he wouldn't. She feels exposed, raw and foolish for thinking love could be simple, for thinking she could be enough. Anger bubbles up, sharp and hot. She's angry at Daniel for making her feel small, for using her kindness as a weapon, for twisting her love into something transactional. But she's also angry at herself, for ignoring the red flags, for sending money she didn't have, for letting his needs come before her own. The self-doubt creeps in, whispering that maybe she deserves this, that maybe she's not worthy of real love, that maybe this is all she'll ever get. It's a dark place, and Lisa feels herself slipping, unsure if she can climb back out. Daniel senses her breaking, and that's when he changes tactics. The coldness melts away, replaced by a sudden wave of concern. He sits beside her, his voice soft, his words carefully chosen. He tells her she's beautiful, that he loves her, that he's only hard on her because he wants the best for both of them. He says he's scared too, that he's never felt this way before, that he needs her to trust him. It's reverse psychology at its finest. He turns her pain into his own, making her feel guilty for doubting him, for questioning his love. He reminds her of everything she's done for him, how she's changed his life, how he'd be lost without her. The guilt trip is subtle but effective, and Lisa feels herself wavering, torn between anger and the desperate hope that maybe, just maybe, he means what he says. But somewhere deep down, a spark of clarity flickers. Lisa remembers who she was before all this, the woman who raised a daughter on her own, who built a life from scratch, who survived heartbreak and disappointment and still found a way to laugh. She remembers the promises she made to herself, the boundaries she swore she'd never cross, the self-respect she fought so hard to reclaim. For the first time, she wonders if she has more power than she thinks. She's the one who bought the plane ticket, who sent the money, who made the sacrifices. She's the one who can decide when enough is enough. The question hangs in the air. What happens if Lisa says no? What if she refuses to put the wig back on, refuses to send another $1, refuses to play the part Daniel has written for her? The thought is terrifying, but also liberating. She imagines walking away, booking a flight home, leaving Daniel and his empty promises behind. She imagines telling her daughter Faith that she finally listened, that she finally chose herself. The idea is almost too big to believe, but it's there, a possibility she can't ignore. Daniel senses the shift, the way Lisa's posture changes, the way her eyes harden. He tries to pull her back in, to remind her of the future they planned, the life they could have together. He paints pictures of a happy home, of family gatherings, of a love that conquers all. But the words don't land the way they used to. Lisa hears the desperation in his voice, the fear that his meal ticket might be slipping away. She sees the cracks in his confidence, the way he glances at her, searching for a sign that she'll cave. Lisa stands up, her hands shaking, but her voice steady. She tells Daniel she needs time to think, that she can't keep pretending everything is okay. She says she deserves honesty, respect, and love that doesn't come with conditions. Daniel tries to protest, but Lisa holds firm. For the first time, she feels the balance of power shift, even if only a little. She's not sure what comes next, but she knows she can't go back to the way things were. The night stretches on, heavy with uncertainty. Lisa lies awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying the conversation over and over. She knows the next move is hers, and whatever she decides will change everything. Will she walk away, or will she give Daniel one more chance? The answer is out there, waiting for her to claim it. And as the first light of morning creeps through the window, Lisa realizes she's stronger than she thought. The story isn't over, not by a long shot. The next chapter is hers to write, and for the first time in a long time, she's ready to pick up the pen. Lisa sits across from Daniel's friends at a crowded table, her nerves buzzing as she tries to read their faces. The laughter from earlier has faded, replaced by a tension that's impossible to ignore. She's tired of dancing around the truth, tired of pretending she doesn't see the warning signs. So she asks, straight out, if Daniel has been honest with her. The question hangs in the air, heavy and uncomfortable, and for a moment, no one says a word. The friends glance at each other, shifting in their seats, their smiles faltering. One of them clears his throat, another looks down at his phone, and Lisa feels her heart sink. She's not getting a straight answer, and she knows it. She tries again, pressing for details about Daniel's past, about the other women she's heard whispers about. The answers come slow and awkward, full of half-truths and nervous laughter. They tell her Daniel is a good man, that he's lucky to have her, that she's changed his life. But when she asks if he's ever been with other Americans, if he's ever promised anyone else the same things he's promised her, the room goes quiet. One friend mumbles something about Daniel having lots of friends. Another insists that Lisa is the only one who matters now. But the way they avoid her eyes, the way they fidget and stammer, tells Lisa everything she needs to know. The realization hits her like a punch to the gut. This isn't just about Daniel, it's about everyone in his circle. Everyone who's helped keep the truth hidden. The scam is bigger than she thought, more complicated, more calculated. She sees now that she's not the first, and if she's not careful, she won't be the last. The friends aren't going to help her, not when their own interests are at stake. They're protecting Daniel, protecting themselves, and Lisa is left to piece together the truth on her own. She feels a wave of anger, sharper than before. She's angry at Daniel for lying, angry at his friends for covering for him, angry at herself for believing in a fantasy that was never real. But beneath the anger is a new sense of resolve. She's done waiting for someone else to save her, done hoping for answers that will never come. If she wants the truth, she'll have to find it herself. Lisa looks around the table, her eyes clear and steady. She thanks Daniel's friends for their time, her voice calm but cold. She stands up, her decision made. She's not going to let this go, not when so much is at stake. She knows now that exposing Daniel won't be easy, that the people around him will do everything they can to protect their own secrets. But Lisa is done playing by their rules. She's ready to fight for herself, to pull back the curtain and show the world what's really going on. As she walks away from the table, Lisa feels a strange sense of freedom. The truth is ugly, but at least it's real. She's no longer trapped by hope or blinded by love. She knows what she's up against, and she's ready to face it head-on. The question now is whether she can expose Daniel before it's too late, before someone else falls into the same trap. The stakes have never been higher, and Lisa's next move could change everything. The clock is ticking, and the world is watching, waiting to see if she'll finally bring the truth to light. Lisa stands in the doorway, her heart pounding, every muscle tense as she faces Daniel for what she knows will be the last time she lets him control the narrative. She's not here to plead or beg for answers. She's here to lay out the truth, every ugly piece of it, and see what's left when the dust settles. She starts with the money. Her voice steady as she lists every transfer, every sacrifice, every time she put his needs before her own. She tells him she knows about the other women, about the messages, about the promises he's recycled and repackaged for anyone willing to listen. She doesn't raise her voice, doesn't cry, doesn't let him see how much it hurts. She's done giving him that power. Daniel tries to interrupt, but Lisa holds up a hand, stopping him cold. She tells him she's spoken to his friends, that she's seen the way they cover for him, the way they laugh off her questions and dodge the truth. She tells him she's tired of being lied to, tired of being made to feel like she's crazy for asking for honesty. She lays it all out, every suspicion, every doubt, every moment she felt alone in a relationship that was supposed to be a partnership. The room is silent, except for her voice, and for the first time, Daniel looks genuinely rattled. He tries to recover, slipping back into the charm that once swept her off her feet. He tells her she's overthinking, that the other women meant nothing, that he only ever wanted her. He paints a picture of a future together, of a life in America, of dreams they could still chase if she just let go of her doubts. He reminds her of the good times, of the laughter, of the moments when it felt like they were the only two people in the world. He pleads, he promises, he even lets his voice crack, hoping she'll see the vulnerability and mistake it for truth. But Lisa isn't moved. She sees the desperation in his eyes, the way he clings to the fantasy even as it falls apart around him. She realizes that every apology, every promise, every tear is just another tool in his arsenal. another way to keep her hooked. She feels a strange sense of calm, a clarity she hasn't felt in months. She knows now that love shouldn't feel like this. That real love doesn't come with conditions or ultimatums or endless doubts. She takes a deep breath and tells Daniel she's done. She tells him she deserves better, that she's tired of fighting for scraps of affection, tired of wondering if she's the only one. She tells him she's going home, that she's taking back her life, her dignity, her self-respect. Daniel tries one last time to pull her back in, but Lisa shakes her head. She's made her decision and nothing he says can change it. The emotional payoff is immediate. Lisa feels lighter, stronger, more herself than she has in a long time. She knows the road ahead won't be easy, that healing will take time, but she's finally free from the web of manipulation and lies. She walks out of the room with her head held high, leaving Daniel to face the consequences of his actions. As the door closes behind her, Lisa knows she's not the same woman who arrived in Nigeria, full of hope and dreams. She's wiser now, tougher and more determined than ever to never settle for less than she deserves. The story isn't over. There are still questions to answer, still truths to uncover. But for now, Lisa has reclaimed her power. And as she steps into the unknown, she knows she's finally in control of her own story. Lisa's flight home is quiet, the hum of the engine a steady backdrop to the storm of thoughts swirling in her mind. She stares out the window, watching the clouds drift by, replaying every moment of her time with Daniel. The parade, the proposal, the laughter, the heartbreak, it all feels distant now, like scenes from a movie she's finally walked out of. Her phone buzzes with messages from friends and family, some worried, some relieved, all eager to know what happened. She types out a simple reply, "I'm coming home. I chose myself." Back in Nigeria, Daniel's world is smaller, quieter. The calls from Lisa have stopped, the money transfers have dried up, and the friends who once cheered him on are suddenly less interested in hanging around. He scrolls through old messages, searching for a way to spin the story, to find another chance, another American dream. But the truth is, Lisa was his best shot, and now she's gone. The mask he wore for so long has slipped, and there's no one left to fool but himself. For viewers watching this unfold, the lessons are impossible to ignore. Red flags aren't just warnings, they're invitations to ask harder questions, to trust your instincts, to protect your heart before it's too late. Lisa's story is a reminder that love shouldn't cost you your dignity, your savings, or your sense of self. When someone's affection feels conditional, when their praise is tied to what you can give rather than who you are, it's time to step back and ask if you're being valued or used. Self-worth isn't something you find in someone else's eyes. It's built, day by day, in the choices you make and the boundaries you set. Lisa's journey was painful, but it was also powerful. She learned that walking away isn't failure, it's freedom. She learned that the right person will never make you feel small, never ask you to hide, never treat your love like a transaction. And she learned that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is say no, even when your heart wants to say yes. Looking back, all the seeds were there from the start. The controlling comments about her hair, the endless requests for money, the evasive answers from Daniel's friends, the screenshots from other women, each one a clue. A piece of a puzzle Lisa was too hopeful to solve. Did she ever get the full truth? Maybe not every detail, but she got enough. Enough to see the pattern, enough to recognize the game, enough to know that she deserved better. The truth wasn't a single moment or confession, it was 1,000 little signs, all pointing in the same direction. Lisa's story isn't unique, and that's what makes it so important. There are countless people out there, searching for love, willing to overlook the warning signs because the dream feels so close. But dreams built on lies always collapse, and the cost is always higher than you think. If you're watching this and you see yourself in Lisa, let her story be your wake-up call. Don't wait for someone else to give you permission to leave. Don't wait for the perfect proof or the final straw. Trust your gut, honor your worth, And remember that real love never asks you to shrink. As Lisa settles back into her life, she reconnects with her daughter Faith, who welcomes her home with open arms and a knowing smile. The conversations are honest, sometimes painful, but always healing. Lisa apologizes for not listening sooner, for letting hope cloud her judgment, for forgetting how strong she really is. Faith tells her she's proud, not because Lisa stayed, but because she finally left. Together, they start to rebuild, one day at a time, stronger for the lessons learned. And while Daniel fades into the background, another story is already brewing. Because if you thought Lisa and Daniel's saga was wild, wait until you meet the next couple on 90 Day Fiance. Secrets bigger than green cards, betrayals that make Daniel look like an amateur, and twists that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about love and loyalty. The drama never stops, and neither do the lessons. So if you're ready for more jaw-dropping moments, more shocking reveals, and more real talk about what it takes to survive love in the reality TV spotlight, don't go anywhere. The next story is about to begin, and trust me, you won't want to miss a second.